Hello guys, welcome back to today's video. So today we are going through the 7.2.6 Gwen Master boss fight and path. Today's video is going to be in a little bit of a different order. I'll show the sort of last 2 to 3 fights of the path and then all of the Gwen Master fight. However, that will be sort of mixed up as some of my recording failed. Just no idea why, due to corruption, I think. Really annoyed about that, but I still get each of the different sort of phase breakdowns in there, so that you're able to see all of that. So the path I took was the one with Cosmic Ghost Rider on. You won't see the Cosmic Ghost Rider fight or the Cosmic Ghost Rider fight, the Quake fight, or Mephisto. The nodes on this path are Foresight, so intercepting with a basic attack. So just an intercept gives you a Fury of plus 200%. Then you've got Encroaching Stun, so every sort of 20 seconds you get a stun on you unless you throw a special attack, and it gets bypassed, as you just saw there. And then we also have Heavy Assaults. Heavy attacks do 500% more damage, which, I mean, in this run I definitely didn't take advantage of. I definitely did not use enough heavy attacks sort of to allow me to do that extra bit of damage. And then there's Under Assault, so if you dash back once you get a disorient charge. If you dash back again, that disorient gets put on you. These do not stack, and they reduce block penetration by 50%, so obviously ideally you don't want those on, especially against the Cosmic Ghost Rider path. I felt this was a little bit of an easier path than what most people use. Most people take the Special Connoisseur, Buff Synthesis with Furies and Precisions, and then Icarus, just because the Icarus is quite annoying, and making sure that you constantly get Precisions can be that little bit frustrating. So I just went with this because it was a little bit easier. However, I do mess up a couple times and take a bit of damage, which was really annoying. So you'll probably play it better than me. If I did it again, I'd definitely end up playing it better than this. I just sort of got unlucky, but I'd already committed to the run, so that was where we was going to go. So obviously we've got the CGR fight. That one's annoying because of the unblockable special SP1, but if you get through that one, then it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I used Rintra. He made the fight that little bit easier by sort of rooting him in the corner, and then also Kitty Pryde because she had the phase through his attacks. And then the Mephisto was sort of the most annoying one, just because his Aura of Incineration meant that he gained a lot of power, and sometimes through his SP3, which was quite difficult to deal with. But other than that, the rest of the fights were quite easy. The Red Skull was really easy with Galen. The Sabretooth should have been much easier with Warlock than it actually was. And the Quake fight, I didn't get too many aftershocks, so that one was quite a quick one. But there, as you can see, I was going to finish it quite well, but in the end got hit by that encroaching stun, which was definitely a little bit annoying. But yeah, not the end of the world. This Red Skull fight goes relatively quickly. Again, I mess up a little bit, but after that, straight into the Gwen Master fight. So we'll get onto her in a second. We'll just finish this fight as it wasn't too quick one. And what I would say is, on this path, don't worry too much about the disorients, especially with Sabretooth, Red Skull, and maybe Mephisto and Quake, but just because they don't actually hit into your block that much. Their specials are easy to dex, and then if you can intercept them, then it doesn't become too much of a problem. Especially for CGR, be cautious of that, just because he has the that really annoying special attacks where they do a lot of damage, and hitting into the block can kill you. But yeah, it should not be too difficult. Like I mess up quite a lot of times here. I end up having to use a team revive, I think it is, before that Red Skull fight, just to get my team ready, and then get them two champs switched out. Which is the nice thing about this path, is that it does have 2 choice nodes, so you can bring in 2 different champs. And the best thing about the Gwen Master fight is that you can use any champ for it. I would highly recommend somebody who is immune to reverse controls, especially for the Mutant path, because that one is the easiest. But with the reverse controls can be a real pain. Whereas if you don't have if you don't have that issue, then go ahead if you think you can deal with the reverse controls. But I would recommend one just because it definitely does save a few revives. I actually end up dying twice to Red Skull, which is probably the most embarrassing thing that happens in this video. So I am very ashamed of that. But yeah, we're finally at the Gwen Master fight. I'd attempted this enough times where I was like, I'm just going to go for it now. I do have two swaps. So I Professor X comes in for Kitty Pryde, and then on one, I cannot remember who I swap out for the second. It's missing me now anyway. But it shouldn't be too tricky. I believe I swap out Gallon for Kitty Pryde. But yeah, once you get comfortable with each of the phases are quite good fun. They are this is a really well designed fight and can be quite entertaining, much better than the Grandmaster fight, which is really horrible and a real pain. I would say use this first Gwenpool fight as a practice for dexing her SP1s, because you will need that throughout the basically the whole Gwenmaster fight. But after, if you already think you're comfortable with it, as I know I was, don't worry too much, take her down and get to that second choice node where you can bring in your final champion and get straight into the Gwenmaster fight. So here, what I'm going to do for this part of the video is explain each phase and then show my gameplay of the phase. What did happen is basically the first rotation of her phases didn't save. However, I started recording for the second load, so you'll see the mutant, the skill, the science, the mystic, the cosmic, and the tech. But I'll explain those sort of the closer we get to the time and why that is a bit of an issue. But as I said, try and bring in a immune to reverse control champ, just because they make the mutant phase, which is the first phase, a lot easier. If you could do this in one, then yeah, it makes it a whole lot easier. And then bring in two champs just so that they have that full health. So let's jump straight into the Gwen Master fight and see what we're going with. So how does it work? She has a countdown to destruction, which is in each phase. It's quickest in its tech phase and it's slowest in its mutant phase. Each phase you go through, it gets quicker and quicker. The ways to pause this timer is by landing a special attack or intercepts. Every time you intercept, it pauses it for 3 seconds. This is good because, especially in the tech phase, it allows you to get off sort of as many hits as possible. So you want to be trying to intercept as much as possible in this fight. I wouldn't worry too much about the link nodes. If you take this path, they don't come to be much of an issue at all. But the first one is the plot armor. So there it says at the start of the fight, Gwen Master activates her plot armor, and she can only be killed or really taken down by this. So Emma Frost's insulated leggings is the first one. This is so when Gwen Master exits diamond form, she gains a prowess. Gwen Master Special 1 inflicts reverse controls. Destroy her plot armor by activating a dexterity during Gwen Master's Special 1 while she has full prowesses active, and she gets and then she chucks up her SP2, and then that's what does damage to her, which you'll see throughout this fight. So really, it's all about just getting her out of that diamond form, and then dexing her SP1, build up to those four prowesses, and then she'll throw up her SP2, and it's really as simple as that. So you'll see it here, dodging the Special 1 while she has 4 prowesses. Really, it's not too tricky to take off her diamond armor. As you can see there, it comes off pretty quick. A 5-hit combo also allows this to come off. Another way of pausing the countdown of destruction is by having a 5-hit combo ending with a medium attack. So medium, light, medium, and then that obviously allows you to take off her diamond form, but also gives you more time to do this. So this one's pretty straightforward, especially with a reverse control immune champ. It's pretty easy to bring in. Just bring in somebody who's able to do that. She'll throw her SP1, dex it, then you'll see that she gets her SP2. She'll chuck that up, and all that damage will be sort of inflicted to her. and then she takes that one. The second phase is skill phase. This is Killmonger's Royal Necklace. There are a few key phases to this. So first, he starts with 60 counterpunch charges. To remove these charges, you just got to make contact with Gwen Master as basic attacks. Don't throw any special attacks after she throws her SP1, because this will put reverberation on her, and that will inflict all of your special damage or will reverse that damage onto you. If you hit into her while she's blocking, she gets an unstoppable. So never try and either dex her and then hit into her after a special attack or after her heavy attacks, or go in and intercept her. This one is again quite easy. 60 basic hits is all you really need. Quicksilver would be pretty good for this, I think. I'm not 100% because I haven't tried it yet, but he was definitely somebody I should have brought in. But the real keys are, don't hit into her block because she will go unstoppable, and you can't stop with this with like a neutralize or anything like that. And don't throw your special attacks, otherwise you'll take all that damage yourself. They're the real keys. You can throw your special attacks if they don't have that blue sort of icon, the reverberation icon, but I would sort of recommend against that. Try and get her down as much as you can. Keep intercepting, finish with 5-hit combos, and that pauses the timer, and then you should be able to take her down. SP2 chucks up, perfect, does damage to her, and you're on to the next phase. So the next phase is Invisible Woman's Wedding Ring. This one is quite annoying unless you have a miss counter, so I obviously take in Professor X again. He is a real goat for this. Nick Fury works really well. So what happens is Gwen Master gains a force field. Its strength is equal to, say, 286,000 health. So you have to take this health down to remove that. So really this is about doing as much damage as you possibly can, while after she throws her special one, she gets invisibility. So you'll see here that I attempted a couple of times with Professor X. He just doesn't do quite enough damage to knock her down. So I do find that in the first 50% of her health going through this Kitty Pryde was the best one. You build up to that SP2. You do that while phasing, and she takes a ton of damage. Remember to get the invisibility off if you're not using a miss counter, is to hit into her, and then that invisibility timer starts. This one's quite tricky to keep within the countdown of destruction, but you should be able to do it. But like I said, high damage is sort of the way to go. As you can see here, I take her down from, say, 70 down, all her armor's off. She chucks it up and does it. You do gain Furies with special attacks and intercepts, so that's a real key in doing as much damage as you can. Then we've got the Mystic one, which is Doom's favourite hoodie. The key here is to knock her down. She can't be knocked down by the same attack twice. Each knockdown grants you an energize, and then you have to knock her down with 4 unique attacks. This one is the easiest of them, this or the Mutant one. Basically, you want to knock her down with an SP1, then use an SP2, then use an SP3, and then just knock her down with a heavy attack. Once that, she'll get the SP2, she'll chuck up her plot armor again, or her special 2 activation, and that will do damage to her. And in this case she'll die, but in my first case she goes down in health, and then you move on to the cosmic one. This one's relatively easy. You just don't want to use the same special attack or the same type of knockdown 2 times in a row. You don't she does steal some of your power every 5 seconds, but that's not something too much to worry about. I wouldn't be sort of too worried about that. It's really just about getting these different knockdowns in place, and that's it really. Power gain champs would be quite good for this, because obviously they someone like Vision Arcus would be good, or Hyperion, because obviously you get their SP1 quicker, you get the SP2 quicker, and the SP3. But if you're happy to survive, just fight the fight. It's not too difficult, just play it as it is normally played. Then to go to the cosmic one, this is where the recording, I'll go back to my first cosmic one, because as you can see here, I take her out, she dies, and the fight ends. So I'll show you the cosmic one that I had recorded. However, the sort of problem with this was I didn't succeed in the recordings that didn't corrupt, if that makes sense. So you'll see me attempting it, but I won't succeed, but obviously I do, because you see the fight end there. The cosmic one is basically a Vision Arcus type thing, where while near Gwen Master, she gains power. While away from her, she inflicts an armor break over time. You gain passive cold snap while near Gwen Master if you've got an armor break, but don't worry about bringing in sort of armor break immune champs. That really doesn't matter. You just destroy this plot armor by knocking her down once she has 10 armor breaks. The easiest way to do this is just to play like normal. You'll gain those 10 armor breaks just passively anyway. You'll sort of see here in the issue I had with Rintra here was that I was trying to get that gap and then she was cornering me. So really just play like normal. When she throws her SP1, go right to the edge of the screen. When she heavy attacks, go right to the edge of the screen. You've only really got to do that 10 times and you get the armor breaks, and then hold an SP2 or an SP1, chuck that into her, that knocks her down and she does the damage to herself. I don't succeed in any of these, so you won't see that. But by playing normal, you'll see that that's the easiest way to get the armor breaks. They charge much quicker, but if you get stuck in the corner, then you really do take quite a lot of damage. So like I said, the easiest way is to push her all the way to one end of the screen. Fight normal, when she chucks her SP1 and her SP2s, or her SP1, sorry, just get to the corner of the screen. It's not very tricky at all. It is on sort of your first attempts just because it's new. But here, as you can see, I get cornered. You don't want to be cornered because if she heavy attacks, it's really hard to dex that. You just want to play normal and allow those armor breaks to build up slowly. You probably won't have to do this one twice unless she regenerates a lot of her health, because it's sort of the fifth one in sort of the rotation. So you probably only need to do this once. As you saw, I only had to do it once. That's why we've gone sort of to the my first attempt of it. But yeah, not too tricky. Just play like normal. Stay on the edge of the screen on special attacks, Interceptor to pause that countdown of destruction. And that's really it. So occasionally it can be tricky to stay within that countdown to destruction. But if you can intercept her, as I tried to do there, but just didn't quite get it off, then it shouldn't be too tricky. You also have to remember not to push her to her SP3 because she'll sometimes throw that and that will kill you completely. But it's, yeah, as you see here, I get killed by that SP3. That's my cosmic attempt. I did complete it on the next run, but that recording failed, so unfortunately you won't be able to see that. But hopefully I've still given a good enough breakdown of that one. And then finally we've got Iron Man's Flashy Aviators. This one is the most annoying if you don't understand what you have to do. So sort of listen close or look at other videos. So she gets 6 passive armor ups. To remove one of these, you need to do a medium or light, or medium, light. Only 4 hit combos. That removes an armor up. The other way to remove an armor up, well, that's the only way. However, you can also break it through unblockable attack. So if you've got somebody, say like Kitty with Tigra, that works really well. So maybe that's worth bringing in. If you're going to bring in Kitty Pryde, bring in Tigra as well, just so that over 10 passives you can break the block. The other issue here is that when she throws her SP1, that does she gets an auto block charge. The only way to remove this auto block charge is to intercept her heavy attack with a heavy attack. So let her throw a heavy, intercept it. That removes the auto block, and then you can go back to removing those 3 armor ups again. And that's the real, the real key here. As you can see, she's got 1 left. You want to try and get as many of those combos in before her armor ups come up, but that's the thing. You'll probably get 1 or 2 in, and then she'll throw her SP1. Then you've got to break her block with your heavy attack, or her heavy attack with your heavy attack. That will get rid of the auto block, and then she'll be back, and you can sort of get rid of her combos that way. So yeah, unless you've got an unblockable champ like a Kitty Pryde or Tiger, then you really that's the way you've got to go for that tech one. So they're all of the phases. These are now the rewards. Obviously here I was sort of hoping, I wasn't really fussed about what I got. Skill would have been nice, but tech's not bad. I do need a new good 6-star tech champ, so that will be good to use when that comes around. And then you'll also see the 6-star hero crystal that I opened up from it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was really helpful for you guys for this big Gwen Master fight. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like. Please comment down below how you found this fight. As I know some people are going through this now. Or if you've already been through it recently, then again, let me know in the comments and let me know how you went. It didn't actually take me too many units this time, maybe about 300, which is way less than the Grandmaster, who took me about 1,200. So I would definitely want to get back in this Gwen Master fight again. I did really enjoy it. But yeah, that's basically it for the video. There's the Mango. He is going to be a relatively good defender for this meta, but I probably won't rank him up quite yet, as short on ISO, and I've got other champs to rank up like Quicksilver. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.